Gentlemen, in the foreword to your book, United States Senator Fred Harris said that although slavery has not been practiced in this country for over 100 years, the mind of the citizen has not been freed. Do you feel that this is the root cause of the Negro problem?
We feel it is a very important cause. The attitude of the society generally, of white people, and unfortunately of some black people, is that black people are inferior and should in fact occupy an inferior status in this society.
The primary problem at this point is black-white, but I think it's really much deeper than that. It goes to the heart of the white man's psyche, where he thinks and feels that he indeed is superior to other people, and this has to stop.
What effect do you think militants like the Black Panthers, for instance, have on the cause of the Negro?
All black people are angry, not just a few militants whom one may see on television. Black people in this country have had it. They're angry, they want in, and they want everything that any other citizen has. And I think white America has to realize this in a very fundamental, basic fashion.
Do you feel that maybe this statement is adding to what might be termed the white rage?
I doubt it. We have every reason to believe, and I think most observers of the contemporary scene can understand that the racism that white people feel is a very hostile thing. I believe it was Martin Luther King who said that it was not his activities that were producing the hostility on the part of whites. It was simply uncovering that hostility which was already there, and I'm afraid the same thing is happening here, that the militants don't produce white hostility. They simply expose that which is already there.
Right, I think it's the same problem. What we have are racists who have heretofore been silent, who now feel more free to jump up and say something.
You haven't offered any formula, any solutions, actually, to the problem of the Negro in your book, The Black Rage. What were your objectives in writing it?
I think quite the contrary. We approach the book as clinicians, and we have the feeling that this country, one of the commodities that is lacking is information.
Yeah, we felt that the decision makers, who are the ones who determine what kind of response will be made to the racial crisis, unfortunately operate sometimes from not a very sophisticated point of view. If, for example, they feel that riots occur because there are too many youngsters on the block in August and that the temperature, when it rises above 80, is the precipitating cause, then of course their responses are in terms of that kind of understanding. What we've tried to do in the book has been to try to give them a deeper understanding of why there is a racial crisis in this country, that it is not a superficial issue, and that it is some 300 years in length, and that it will require profound and deep-seated changes in our social system.
At this point, the country has reached a very desperate crisis where most black people are saying, either give it to us or blow up the system. And I don't think America at this point has the luxury to sit around and decide. I think with all deliberate speed, which means right now, these grievances must be redressed. Black people must be brought in as black Americans into the American family with all the rights and privileges and all the psychological rights and privileges that accrue to them.